Hello my fellow crafters and welcome back to David's Craft Room. My name is David and I'm in my craft room making some fun crafts for you. Today I'm going to be working with the Mugpress again and I'm very curious whether this will work, yes or no. I think it will though, but yeah, I'll get back to that. I'm going to be doing some sublimation on a mug using my Mugpress. I normally use another brand of press for sublimation, but I'm really curious to see whether this will work, yes or no. Now, okay, I've got a sublimation printer and I can print a sublimation file from any program that I want, but I want to do it in Design Space because there are some fun tools in there that really help me size the picture to the correct size. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to New Project and that will open my canvas. Next, I'm going to go to Projects on the left side my screen, click on that, and then I see all projects. Now I click on all categories because I want to have the Infusible Ink categories, and then I will, well, I don't even have to search for mug anymore because here is the thing that I'm looking for. This is a standard template that Cricut provides for your mug design setup. I click on that and click on the finished size by the drop-down menu. Now I'm using a 12 ounce 340 milliliters mug blank. And here you can see the different edges. The straight edge is standardly select, but you can have a scalloped edge. And when you click on it, you can see an example up here of the picture you're going to get. What I want is the ribbed edge, the small ribbed edge for the 12 ounce 340 mil mug blank. I'll click on that and you see the example here. This is the example I want. And then I'm going to click at the bottom where it says Customize. And this will open the project on my canvas. Now I'm not going to do anything with this at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Upload because I want to upload my own image into Design Space. I'm going to go to Upload, go to Upload Image, click on Browse, or I can drag it there, but I will click on Browse this time. Then I will go to the folder where I have it in Cricut Files. And I know this is the image that I want. Open. Now it'll open the image right here in Design Space. I'm going to click on Complex because I want all the details remained in the picture and then Continue at the right bottom. I don't want to do anything to it. I don't want to delete a background. So I'm going to Apply and Continue. It's going to be a print then cut image and we're only going to print it. We're not going to cut it, but I'm going to upload it like a print then cut. I'm going to click on the image and then Add to Canvas. It's just that simple to upload your own images into Design Space. Now, as you can see, this is way too big and I'm going to cut this to size, but I'm going to make it slightly smaller. So I'm going to have a look at the template and I can see it's 9.627 centimeters. So I'm going to make my picture just slightly higher, like 10.5, brings the size down already quite close to what we need. Then I'm going to select this layer that we don't need, and I'm going to delete that. The same with the back layer. We don't need that, so I'm going to delete that. Now I'm left with this layer with the ribbed edges, and I'm going to pull that behind my picture. I don't want to transfer that to the front because now you can still see the lines. You see the green lines. You can see the gray lines around moving on my picture. That is where it's going to be cutting. So this way I can really center my picture where I want it and let go. This is what I want. So next I'm going to select both, and I'm going to select both by clicking on my left mouse button and drag over both of the layers. You can see here on the side that both are selected. At the bottom you can see slice is available, and that is because we only have 2 layers selected. If you have more than 2 layers selected, slice will not appear. You can only slice with 2 layers at the same time. So I'm going to click slice. Now it looks like nothing has happened, but if you look in the layer panel, you can already see that there are several layers now. There's 1 layer more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on here, drag this layer away, and delete that by clicking on the X or press your delete button with that file selected. And now we have our photo exactly cut to the same size as the template is. This way I know that this will fit my mug. So I've got my maker selected, and then I will click on Make It. I'm going to click Continue. Now, I'm not going to mirror it because my printer mirrors every image I send to it. So that's important to know. If your sublimation printer does not do that, you have to mirror your image here. I don't have to do that because my machine will do it. Next, I'm going to click Send to Printer. And my Epson F100 series is selected. I'm going to deselect bleed because I don't want bleed to be on, and I'm going to use the system dialog. And then I'm going to hit print. Now you can wait here for hours with this screen, but probably what will happen is that your print screen is behind Design Space. There we have it. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to use my last use settings because I know they work. I'm just going to go to the print settings just to check something. Print quality is fine. And you see here, mirror image is selected here. And I'm going to hit print. This is going to be printed out now. And when I'm done, I will go to the Mugpress and make the mug. Okay, here we are at my Mugpress. Now it has printed beautifully. And I know some people will say, oh, it looks really pale. That's correct. That's what happens with sublimation. Sublimation ink is heat activated, and that will really bring it to its color once it's pressed on a sublimation blank. Now what I've done, I've cut off all the print markers that are on there for the Cricut. We don't need those. And it's important that you cut them off because otherwise they will transfer onto your mug. So you need to cut those off. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lint-free cloth and I'm going to clean my mug. So I'm going to spray it. My heat press is beeping, so it's ready. I've just sprayed it with some isopropyl alcohol and I'm going to really clean my fingerprints and other dust and particles off there. This will really help with the end result. So there we have it, nice, clean and shiny. So I'll put that there. Next, I will take my sublimation piece and pull it around the mug. I'm going to set my mug on my desk and press the paper so it's touching the desk. And this will make sure that it is really on there, completely covered. And then I'm just going to eyeball it to make sure that these edges are similar. There we go. Next, I'm going to take some heat tape, and this will make sure that it stays on there. There we go. That's on there. Now, I'm not going to do any fuss stuff with it at this moment in time. What I want to see is how the Cricut Mugpress presses it on there. What I do with my other Mugpress is I completely tape the side down, tape the bottom down, to make sure that everything is really stuck on there. I'm not going to do that in this case because I want to give it a full normal test. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one piece of tape here at the top and one at the bottom. So that's on there now and ready to go. So what I'm going to, so I've got a couple of layers of butcher paper that I'm also going to put around. This is to protect your Mugpress. You don't want the sublimation ink to get into the inside of your Mugpress because that will stain it and makes life really hard for you. So I'm going to secure this with a couple of pieces of butcher paper. You can also use a couple of pieces of just printer paper, but for me butcher paper works fine. At least in my other press, it's how it works. So that's what I'm doing here as well. And then we're gonna put the mug in. So I'm gonna slide it in at an angle. And I'm gonna close this lever, making sure it's fully covered. Don't know if you can see it. Making sure the design is fully covered by the mug press. And it is, and it starts the countdown. Now let's wait and see. I'm so curious whether this will work. Yeah, I've had some examples on my other mug press with sublimation that did not work really well. It's quite a complex thing on the other mug press. So if this makes it easier, it will make me very happy. So I'm gonna let the mug press do its thing and be right back. So the last button is flashing over there, and that means the Cricut mug press is nearly done. And I must say, it's so far so good. It's really easy to work with. It's the second time I use it. First mug we made was really simple, but it was a huge success, better than the other one. The next video I'm gonna make is gonna be a comparison between the Cricut mug press and my other mug press. And I will do sublimation, I will do Infusible Ink on both. There we have it, it's done. So I'm gonna open it up. And this is so cool that the handle, it stays cold. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna switch him off. Put this one to the side a bit. And officially we need to let this cool down completely before we remove everything. Now, this is simply a case of do as I say, not as I do, because I'm very impatient, and for the sake of this video, I just want to see the result. So I'm gonna peel off the tape. Be careful, because it's really hot and you will burn yourself. So I'm gonna peel off this paper, being careful not to damage the mug. Because you can see it's hot because the paper has burned. So this is going into my bin. And I'm gonna peel off this this tape. And peel off this piece. Now I'm scratching the paper, not the mug. That's important. If you're impatient like me, do it like that. But you gotta be careful not to burn yourself because this is really hot. And the last piece is coming off, and that will reveal our design. There we go. Oh wow, look at that. It has transferred very nicely. Look at that edge. It's transferred top to bottom. Now, there's a slight edge here that's not completely sublimated. So what I will probably do next time is really tape the bottom that it's on there tight. But that was an experiment. You can see, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but you see it's slightly rounded at the bottom. That's why it's not fully sublimated there. But in all, it did a fantastic job. It looks better than my other press does. Except for this bottom line then, but to be honest, the other press does that even worse. So I'm really happy with how this sublimated. Next time I will tape it down at the bottom and then this issue will be solved, I think. But we'll test it out next time. But yeah, I'm really happy. This is a nice mug with my dog and my 2 cats. They are best friends, as you can see. I'm gonna let this cool, give it a wash, and then I will use it. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video and you like the mug. If you do so, give this video a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to my channel. This is it for now. Thank you for watching this one, and I hope to see you for the next one. Thank you. Bye.